If you're like me, your mind likes to wander. Mine specifically likes to write horror stories. Not necessarily the kind with monsters, the kind where you're the monster, the kind where you're not good enough, or smart enough, or attractive enough, or talented enough, or not worthy enough. And the craziest part about it all is it releases a new episode every single day. No subscription required, no warning label, just an endless stream of your worst case scenarios staring right at you. And your mind will take a 5-second interaction and sort of turn it into a 2-hour psychological thriller. Someone might look at you weird and suddenly your brain starts writing that they hate you. A friend doesn't respond to you right away and suddenly they are done. You make one simple mistake and all of a sudden you think everybody noticed. You fail one time and this is who you'll be forever. And before reality even really gets a chance to speak, the narrator in your head has already finished the story. That's the weird thing about being a human. Most of us aren't living inside reality. We're living inside our interpretation of reality. Those are not the same thing. Imagine standing in front of a cracked mirror. Every reflection coming from it is distorted. Now imagine spending your entire life believing that's what you actually look like. That's what negative thinking does. The world will happen. Then the crack in the glass changes what you see. Then you react to the distortion and not the truth. The distortion. And I think that's why so many people are exhausted. Not because life is hard. Life is hard, but because they're carrying two different lives. The one that actually is happening, and the one in their minds. One heartbreak turns into 1,000 imagined heartbreaks. One rejection turns into 100 future rejections. One awkward conversation, entire imaginary future where everyone secretly hates you. We're constantly paying emotional taxes on events that haven't even happened yet. And most of them never will. Think about it. Some of the things keeping you awake at night aren't even real. They're predictions. Predictions disguised as memories from the future. And that's what anxiety feels like sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I have my fair share. But remembering something that hasn't happened yet. How insane does that sound? Imagine watching a weather forecast that says it might rain next year. And because of that, you spend the next 30 days or 365 days carrying an umbrella everywhere. Sleeping with it, eating with it, taking showers with it. Then the rain never comes. Now, that might sound a bit ridiculous, but emotionally, people do it every day. We carry storms that haven't even arrived. We mourn endings that haven't happened. We lose battles that never existed. And eventually, we become prisoners of possibilities and not reality. Possibilities. The human mind is one of the most beautiful things ever created. It's also one of the most dangerous because it can create heaven from nothing, but it can also create hell from nothing. A person can be lying in bed completely safe, roof over their head, food in their stomach, nobody yelling, nobody hurting them, point is, nothing dangerous is happening, and still feel terrified. Because the brain doesn't always react to reality. It reacts to perception, to stories, to meaning, and to fear. That's why two people can live through the exact same event and walk away with completely different experiences. One might see a lesson, the other might see a life sentence. One might see a mistake, the other sees proof that they are worthless. Reality gave them the same page. Their minds wrote two different endings. I think one of the saddest things in the world is how often people mistake a thought for a fact. A thought says, what if I fail? Somehow becomes, I'm going to fail. A thought says, what if they leave? And somehow becomes, they're going to leave me. Nobody taught us that thoughts are just suggestions, not commandments that we need to follow. Just because your brain says something doesn't mean it's true. And if it did, we'd all be in trouble. Because the human brain says some unbelievably stupid shit. It tells anxious people they're in danger when they're safe. It tells lonely people they're unwanted when they're loved. It tells grieving people they'll never feel happiness again. It tells struggling people they'll always struggle. And every single day, reality proves those thoughts wrong. Yet somehow, we keep listening. Maybe that's why peace feels so difficult. Because peace requires something terrifying, uncertainty. But you have to accept that you don't know what happens next. You have to stop demanding guarantees. You have to stop trying to control every single possible outcome. It's not going to work. Because life was never meant to be lived that way. Imagine reading a book where the main character skips to the final chapter every 5 minutes because they're scared of what's happening next. You'd never enjoy reading the story. Yet that's exactly how many of us live every day. Always jumping ahead. Always trying to predict. Always trying to prepare. Missing the page they're currently on. And the page you're currently on is usually so much quieter than your mind claims. Much safer, much smaller, much more manageable. Because most of the monsters chasing you at 2 a.m. disappear by the morning time. Not necessarily because you defeated them, but because they were never there. Maybe that's the lesson. Maybe the goal isn't to stop thinking. Maybe the goal is to stop believing every thought deserves your trust. Because your mind is capable of incredible things, but it's also capable of lying to you. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is look at the horror movie playing in your head and say, that's a great story. But I'm going to wait and see what reality says first. Because more times than not, reality is often kinder than fear. And life becomes a lot lighter when you stop carrying futures that haven't happened yet. Thank you. As always, stay Rohly.